Hi guys, good morning. Happy Friday. Another week done. Hope you're all okay. Just check we're going live before I start chatting away to myself. There we go, it's clicking in. Okay, super. Hi, good morning everyone. So I'm going to show you today how to use the crystal tree beads from Totally Beads. Down. I need my caffeine fix today. These beads are fantastic. You can actually have them as tree shapes, but if you turned them the other way round, you could actually use them as arrows as well. So I'm going to show you a good few different things to do with them today. We have some amazing bundles. Good morning, Alicia, Helen, Edward, Kitty. Hi, morning, Kitty. Linny, also Debbie. Sharon, good morning to you all. Hope you're all okay. So we've had a really busy week, lots of different techniques, lots of new things adding into the mix. And we've got a good few days coming up too as well. So I'm going to be with you until Sunday. And then next week I've got quite a few TV programmes. So I'm going to be in the studios. So I also have the Totally Beads Jewellery Hour at 9 o'clock on Create and Craft. Just realised you can see little Earl in his bed, bless him. Quiet today in the house. So far, touch wood, we won't be disturbed. Good morning, Camille. Hi, Di, Diana, Jenny, Anne, Karen. Lovely to see you all again. So let me know if this is the first time you're joining us, if you are a regular to our 10 o'clock Facebook Live. There are quite a few. Oh, good morning, Jenny from sunny Spain. It's not sunny here in Lincolnshire at all, so I hope you are enjoying your weather. I'm very jealous. It's meant to be a nice weekend here though, I think, possibly Sunday. Good morning, Margaret. Lucy says, morning Sarah, lost my other Facebook account last night, so I had to quickly make one so I can watch. Oh, Lucy. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us again. Good morning, Jean, Doris, here again, lovely. Hello, Doris. Sheila, Jane, Catherine, good morning from Ireland. Lovely. Susan, watching, looking forward to this tutorial. And Kelly from Australia. Good morning, Kelly. Lovely to have so many of you. It's lovely to hear where you're all from as well. I know we have had hundreds and hundreds of you join us since we started these, so I guess we'll be going into the 13th week soon, which is really lovely. I can see some people on here from Finland again as well. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Sissel. I hope I said your name right. Hi, Jan. Morning. First time I've caught this live this week. Oh, amazing. Good morning, Jan. Hi, Chris. Very rainy in Northwest. Yeah, it's not great, is it? Pouring down in the Yorkshire Dales. I love that we start with like a little weather report from the country and the world as well. So we can all see how we're doing. Good morning, Amanda, Sarah and everyone from a cloudy and rainy Cornwall. Regular watcher and looking forward to them each morning. Oh, that's really lovely. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, let us know if you've been joining us for the first time. If you haven't yet commented and started to interact, then give us a little hello, good morning. You don't even have to say anything, just give us a little wave. It'd be lovely to get you all interacting with us because we can answer questions while we're live. If you are watching this later and it's not live, because obviously we upload it onto the page, then you will be able to still answer questions, and Kitty and I always keep an eye on them as well, so we'll keep on looking. Somebody just asked, although the comment's gone, but I can't see it anymore. Somebody asked if there are any, oh, there it is, Jean. Tiara tutorials. Yes, Tiara is one of the first weeks that we did. So if you scroll through the Facebook page or you go to the video section, if you scroll through, I know it was a Tuesday, which is really weird, but it's because what's the word? I challenged Kitty to wear her tiara for the entire video, so I named it Tiara Tuesday. So it will be in there somewhere. It was towards the very beginning, but yes, there is one on there. Good morning, Pamela. Hi, Angela. Hi, Jitty. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to get started because I'm going to make everything in its entirety today. So I'm going to do my own take on this one. As you know, I do wear quite a lot of black, and we've got some beautiful hematite chain in these kits. So I'm going to make a version, a longer danglier version of this necklace here. We've got quite a few. Oh, Kitty's saying it's the 14th of April. So she's put up a link to the tiara one, and that's down on the bottom, so you'll be able to find that. That was quick going. You see, when we're interacting live, you can have all the questions to the answers you want. All the answers to the questions. You know what I mean. I'm a bit tired today. I'm hoping I get my teeth in and I can get cracking well. Okay, so we've got some silver, gold and hematite chains today, and as you can see, you can either turn these into little trees because of the shape of them, or I'm going to turn my ones around and have them as arrows. So I'm going to show you a triple layered dangly earring because it's a style that I really like doing, and quite a few people struggle to get the sizes right and the measuring. And then I'm going to do a nice long necklace with a pendant hanging down on the bottom, and we'll embellish all of that with chains. So today we're going to be turning lots of loops, perfecting those loops, and I'm also going to use several of our pearl bundles. Now, we had some pearl bundles a couple of weeks back that were 6 and 8mm. So today I've got the 3mm and the 4mm bundles for you, and when I turn you down in a minute, I'm going to show you it all. Okay, so let's have a little look. Got some people from Scotland. Liking the red. Yeah, Jenny, the red is beautiful. I'll show you these in a moment. So I've got my Create and Craft show on Wednesday at 9 o'clock for Totally Beads. And of course, as you would think, in June, we've launched Christmas. It's quite funny. I know retail always think of Christmas early. Create and Craft just push that way back, and we launch Christmas in June. So for any of you who don't know, there is a craft channel. It is a shopping channel called Create and Craft TV, and we regularly do monthly shows on there. A lot of the bundles and the kits that we've been showing you over the lives are available on there, and you can watch us for the live hour. So that will be 9 o'clock on Create and Craft TV this Wednesday. Got some amazing Christmas kits. I'm going to be making beaded mistletoe and holly. So if any of you have seen the roses and the lavender and the poinsettias we've done before, the orchids, we're going to put a Christmas twist on these ones, and I'm going to be doing holly and mistletoe. I've got some amazing kits from Kitty on there as well, some of your favourite Christmas makes, so hopefully you'll all be able to join me on Wednesday. Okay, so I am going to turn you down. Let's get going. Lots of loops to be made today. Excuse me, and I'm going to show you some top tips for working with chain as well. Okay, so these are the crystal beads. Now, they are available on the website individually. Let me just remind myself, they are £4 for the whole strand, and I have to say it's phenomenal value for money, but there is a bundle as well, but I'll just show you this for now. Now, there are 3 different sizes on these strands, so we actually go from an 8mm by 4, so it's 8mm by 4. You get 20 of those beads on here. Then you've got the 12 by 6s. So as you can see, it graduates as you go down the strand. Then you've got 16 of your 12 by 6mm. And then you have 11 of your 16 by 8mm. So if you're thinking about festive makes, and I know we're in June, I know it's super early. However, we've got a bit of extra time at the moment, so we might as well make the most of it, and start going. If you're going to do things like wine glass charms or even little tree decorations, you could hang all of these on the tree just on an eye pin. I'm going to show you how to do that. And of course, it's going to make beautiful jewellery. Now, if you're not thinking festive, we're going to turn these upside down and have them as arrows. So they are a beautiful arrowhead shape, which is really lovely. And so this is the bundle. These are all the colours that you are getting. Have a look at some of these finishes. They're really gorgeous. I'll just remind myself of the bundle price. One sec. I'm just loading up my iPad. So the bundle, you get all 12 strands. Now, they are normally £48, which again is still great value for money, but At the moment, they are on the website at £29.99. So £30 for 12 strands. And remember, you're getting all 3 of those sizes in there as well. So I'm going to move these out the way. We've got a couple of extra things as well. I'm just going to show you it all at the very beginning, so that then we can crack on with our makes. Now, these are the 3mm pearls. So anyone who got their bundles of the mixed sizes, your 6 and 8s, this is the newest edition as an offer. So these are the 3mm pearls that will go with. Now again, these are normally £50. You get 40 strings. So even that's good value for money, but they are down to £34.99. So £34.99 for 40 strands, which is fabulous. Wow, only 195 days until Christmas. That's so exciting. I was making my mistletoe yesterday, and I have to say I was getting super excited about doing the house up for Christmas. I do love Christmas. And it's nice just to have something a little bit different at the moment, isn't it? Especially when you've got a really cold, rainy day. I think there's nothing better than getting a bit cosy and making some lovely festive makes. Okay, so these are the 4mm strands. So these are also from £40 down to £29.99, and again 40 strands of them, all 4mm. So I'm going to use both of these in my makes today. I think I'm going to go, so I'm actually going to use the darker hematite chain today, which is this one here, and I'm going to use, I did have my crystals that I had chosen out a moment ago. I think we're going to go for these ones. So it's a real gunmetal grey. I think they're lovely. Like I said, I wear a lot of black. So it's really nice to have something that you can... Oh, let's go for that one. You can bespoke your own jewellery, which I think is lovely. So if you have favourite colours... oh, lovely. Some of you are letting everyone know what channel Create and Craft is. Do you know what? I've been there for nearly 10 years. And I could not tell you what channels they are. How ridiculous is that? But it does change sometimes. They've changed over the years, haven't they? From Freeview and Sky, whatever else. I think I'm going to go for a mixture, actually. Let's go for the silver and the darker hematite. Lucy's saying, I don't even know if I have this bundle. You know you are a beadaholic when you're not even sure what materials you have anymore. Oh, Lucy, I'm so glad you're enjoying making jewellery, though. It's been a really nice journey to actually have with you. Lucy started watching the videos back at the very beginning of lockdown, bought a few of the educational USBs, and I think it's quite safe to say you're pretty bead obsessed by now. As are we all. We're all in good company. Okay, so with my necklace, I'm actually going to start with my chain. Let me move some of these out of the way so that we don't have issues focusing in. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with my chain, and I'm going to have this as an over the head chain. So I don't need a clasp, which of course is always really handy, and I'm going to make sure that I've got section up at the top here. I'm just going to link it together. Now you could use a jump ring, or I'm actually just going to add the chain on completely. So I'm just going to measure this up to myself quickly because I want it to be hanging just at chest height, and I'm going to add an extra drop of my chain that we will start embellishing. So the links of your chain, this is a beautiful curb chain. The links of your chain will come undone just like a jump ring. So I'm going to rotate that round until I find the actual link. You can just see it up at the top there. And then I'm going to take a pair of pliers and I'm going to twist it open. With curb chain, a lot of the time, you'll know that I would ordinarily hold my pliers vertical, but with a curb chain, and I'll show you on one of the links in a moment, you actually have, it's not a perfect circle. So you actually have some little links in there. Now I'm just picking this up and I'm letting gravity, so I'm just running it through my hand so that all of my links are facing in the same direction. You can sometimes get little kinks in them. So I'm just making sure, just like it was there, just moved that link around, just making sure that it's all facing in the same direction. And I'm going to take my open link and attach it onto the other side. I might need to open this one a little bit further. There we go. And then I'm going to close that off. So I've now got a complete little circle of my chain that is the correct length for my necklace. Okay, so we've now got an entire loop. And then at some point we're going to add on, to be honest, I probably could have added the jump ring in there, but we're going to do this. So now I know it's the right length. I'm going to add in a third piece of chain down at the bottom. So you want to make sure that, and I'll show you the other version of the necklace, which is really nice. You would be able to make multiple necklaces from your set. So I'm going to have a round neck so that when you're wearing perhaps a lower neck jumper or top, you could have a round necked piece in there. And then this one could be for a higher neck or when you're using, you know, when you're wearing cardigans and things like that as well. So I want to have a third piece of chain so that at the very bottom of my necklace, I'm going to have a drop coming down. And I reckon we go for about that length there. And again, you can either cut your links or you can open them up as jump rings. So we'll open this one up and take that length out there. Let's close this one because now we've got extra chain that we can use. Excuse me, I'm very husky today. It's annoying me, but hopefully I won't get too husky and get a fit of the coughs. I'll just keep on sipping my coffee. How's everyone doing? I understand that we might be able to go out and see a few more people at the weekend. You get your little social bubble going on, which would be nice, wouldn't it? Hopefully we'll be able to start seeing our families soon, which would be lovely. I know we were all saying we're doing quite well in lockdown at the moment yesterday, which is nice. I'm glad that you're all doing okay. I'm just pulling this one out. Now, really, I should have added this in at the beginning, but I forgot that I was doing a pendant. So with my jump ring, it's matching my chain. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to add that on to my chain at the bottom. So that's one side of my necklace. That is my pendant drop. And can you see that I'm just letting gravity hold the chain itself? So when you've got smaller links, sometimes it's a little bit trickier to actually connect them onto jump rings and such like as well. Oh, this one's a bit twisted. Get out. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to link them on, so I always just let gravity hold the chain itself. And bear with, I'm just going to make sure that, again, I've got no twisted links in my chain, running that through. And I'm going to take my chain, let gravity just hold, drop that down onto my jump ring, and then we'll shut this jump ring off. Okay, so you will start to see the shape of our necklace come together. Again, when you're closing your jump rings, just make sure that you feel those two ends rub together. And this is the section that we're going to be adding in. So I've added the jump ring because it's now going to give me that perfect Y. Okay, if you were to just add a jump ring on, you would have a rounded necklace up at the top and a little extra bit. So this is just going to give you that really nice fluidity. You can see it already in that shape. Then I'm going to take my crystals, and remember there's lots on here. So I'm actually going to keep one of each of the size, and I would probably wear the darker one more. I'm going to keep one of each of these for my earrings. So really we'll need two because we're going to double them up. So I'm going to take two of the smaller for my earrings, which is the 8x4. And then I'm going to take two of the medium size. And those ones are your 12x8s. And then we'll take these off. And I'm going to take 2 of the larger, 12 by 6, sorry, and then these are your 16 by 8s. And we'll make those in a minute when we're turning the loops. Oh, Jenny says, no bubble for me. Shielding, so just me and the cats until at least the end of June. Oh, Jenny, stay safe. I think the main thing is just making sure that no matter how long you're staying away from everyone, it's all for your protection, isn't it? I know it's so hard, but the most important thing is to stay safe. And it'll be worth it in the long run, won't it? I'm hoping we can all have normal Christmases and such like. It'll be lovely, won't it? Okay, so this is my chain. It's so easy for us just to sit here and like crack on with our beading, isn't it? I sometimes forget what's going on because I am just in my own little bubble at home. I think that's the best thing to do sometimes, isn't it? Just crack on. It's our new normal. Okay, so with my earrings, let's do the earrings first so that I can show you turning the loop and how effective it can be. So I'm going to add on my smaller crystal and I'm going to have these as arrowheads. So I'm going to take my smaller one. Oh, Ian says shielding until the end of July. Isn't time passing quickly? I know it's very hard, but when you think, gosh, we started in March and we're now in June already, I hope time is passing quickly for you guys. Like I said, the most important thing is just to stay safe. So you're all doing a fabulous job, which is lovely. Just got to keep yourself safe. You're the main importance. Okay, so we are going to have our earrings up at the top. Good morning, Sandy from Massachusetts. Lovely. How's your weather over there? We're all pretty dull and miserable here at the moment. So I hope you've got some nice weather. Okay, so I'm going to use my round nose pliers. Do excuse me. I'm going to use my round nose pliers to create a little loop up on these. And I'm going to have these as graduated drop down earrings. So my longest one is going to be my biggest arrow. Now you could add extra beads into these. You could add smaller spaces at the top or at the bottom. I'm actually just going to let this hang as it is. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to create a loop right up at the top. And I'm going to not even bend it to 90 degrees first. I'm just going to loop this around and you will see that my loop, rather than being like an eye pin, this is more like a P. So I want to straighten this up so that I can attach it on and it will drop down just like an eye pin. So I'm going to pop my pliers back in here and I'm just going to take that loop and centralise it up to the top. So I'm just bending down that main part of my pin and then straighten that up ever so slightly and make sure that I have a lovely closed loop. Okay, so that is going to be my biggest drop arrow. Now my second one, I want to sit just above it like so. So I'm actually just going to sit it on my mat. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to mark where the loop is on my first one. Now I'm going to bend this to 90 degrees, cut and leave my centimetre. So I've used my first one as my marker. Now this one, once I create my loop, and because I've measured it up, will hopefully then sit directly above it. Beautiful. And then my last one, we're going to do the same again. So we'll graduate down in the size. So I just want it to sit nice and neatly there. So I'm going to take my pliers, bend that to 90 degrees, cut and leave my centimetre. These little shards you can make extra eye pins out of later on. And again, so when I'm turning my loops, I always have my pin facing up to the ceiling and I like to roll away from me. So, oh, Natalie says, I can't forget the day we went into lockdown as it would have been my nan's birthday, which was March the 23rd. Oh, so that date's going to stick in your mind, isn't it? For so many reasons. I'm going to loop these around. And that will then give me my third. And I'm not worried about using stoppers because they're going to be hanging. And then I'm going to attach them on with a jump ring. So again, all of my findings are matching. So I'm going to take my jump ring, open this up. So again, taking my round nose pliers as a vertical hold on my jump ring. Patricia says, Sarah, I received I received yesterday and the flat nose pliers are brilliant and such a great kit, all round value for money. Thank you. I think you're referring to my plier set. Thank you so much. Yeah, these are the ones that I'm working with now. I'm so glad you like them. Thank you. Yeah, these flat nose pliers I find really helpful because they're just so good for grip in everything. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my looped side, so my open side of my loop is actually facing away. So I'm going to first of all put on the smallest one. Then I'm going to put on the largest one. And then I'm going to put on the medium one. Do I want them that way round? Yeah, can you see how they sit really nicely? Or let's try it and we'll do it in size. Normally let's put them in size. Normally when I'm doing this with round beads, I would alternate them, but actually these ones I like just as this. And then we're going to pop on our ear wire. So I've done it so that we've got the neat side of the eye pins all on this side, and on the reverse side is the closed side, which also means then that will be what is facing us when we pop that in our ear. So it's all gone in the same direction, closing that jump ring, making sure you get that lovely closed connection. And there you've got a really lovely set of triple layered arrowhead earrings, which I think are really funky. Now they're a bit darker because I wear a lot of black. So obviously you could make you could make some really beautiful bright colours with the selections that we've got today. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So remember, our longer one, we're going to keep long. And we're going to take the top, we're going to mould around our plier to make our loop. And then we're going to centralise it by just bending that back. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got that closed connection. Can you see where it's a little bit open? Just make sure you close that perfectly. Our second one, we'll then place it next to it where we want it to be. Mark on there where our loop is. Bend to 90 degrees. And then we're going to cut and leave a centimetre. Now, when it comes to loop turning, a centimetre is always best for a standard size loop. Good grief, sorry, I'm really struggling today. It's always good for a standard size loop. If you would like it to be larger or smaller, then of course you just affect the amount of wire that you leave. So with your eye pins, have I got any eye pins to hand? No, but I'll use this as an example. With your fabricated eye pins, when you get them out of the pack, pop that onto your plier, or when you're making one loop like this, if you just take a little marker pen and onto your pliers, mark the depth, like so, for that size of loop. Okay, so I know it's a centimetre, I do it by eye all the time. And then that way, when you're then moving your next loop, you can go to the same marker point and you will get the same sized loop continuously time and time again, which is always so helpful. And again, I'm just going to straighten up this one because I just went a little bit over on there. Loop together so that you have a closed connection. And then with our smallest one. So they're going to sit beautifully together there. And then with our smallest, we're going to measure it up again. So where my loop is on my last one, bending to 90 degrees. Margaret says, great, my daughter will like these. Oh, lovely. Nice little gift. I would need to get all the bundles, chain, etc. to do these. Oh, well, we've got some really lovely little lengths of chain on the website. Can even be as low as £1, I think, for some of them, if not less. So the great thing is you can actually pick whatever chain you would like to use. And jumping. And of course you can then bespoke and personalise them even more. We do have some of these as kits. So you've got everything you need in there. Now, because this is going to be in the other ear, so I think I'll do it so that the longer pin is on your body. So we'll have this one as my right. So on my left, I'm going to put them on in reverse. So we'll go longer first, whereas we started with our shorter one when we made the other earring. So this one will be on the left And then that way they're actually going to mirror each other as well. Let's close these up. You see, so then you've got that graduation on either side, and you've got the beautiful arrowheads, and they're going to sparkle beautifully when you're wearing them and with the movement, because they are looser. So that's making a longer component. Normally when we would make components out of beads, we would have a loop on either side, and so they're then actually I should have a necklace here where we've got them as components in the middle. Yeah. So you would make things like this. Kitty sent me loads of samples, so I've got lots of different variations to show you. So you could have them as pins just on a shorter length so that they are housed on either side, and you can obviously make lovely little beading connectors out of them as well. We'll be super in silver with clear AB beads for bridal necklaces. They would be amazing, and I've got the AB here. Look at these. So although I've gone quite dark with mine because I do wear a lot of black, if we made these in AB, you'll get even more sparkle because, of course, not only do you have the crystal, but it's got that coating finish. They would also look amazing. Let me just show you these ones. Look at these in the mermaid finish. They are going to sparkle like nothing else. They will be gorgeous. Okay, so I'm then going to make my necklace with our leftover beads, essentially. So these are all the other beads that we have, and I'm just going to turn lots of pins. So again, you could add some of your pearl crystals in. You can add whatever beads you would like. Now, you do have to be careful when you are using a crystal bead and you are turning your loops. You need to be really careful that you don't chip the top. Maxine says, fabulous earrings, very clever. Yeah, thank you. It's one of my favourite little designs to do, just graduating like this. And it is so simple, really quick make, but they're so effective when you wear them. I'll pop them in at the end of the video. Zoe says, love the silver and the purple. Yeah, they're fab. So you need to be careful when you're working with crystals that you don't chip the top or the bottom of them. So it is a good idea if you aren't too used to working with your pliers yet and your beads, to use your things like pearls, whereby you're not going to chip them, as a little stopper. But there are a few ways that you can get around it as well. So rather than using my pliers to bend my pins, so a lot of the time you would take your pliers here, rotate it round, and that would bend it. I'm actually just going to use it with my fingers so that it's not putting any stress underneath the crystal itself. So this is going to hold it nicely. And then I'm going to cut and leave my centimetre. I'm going to go a little bit bigger actually for these because I want them to be a little bit larger so it's nice and easy to link onto my chain. And then I'm going to use my thumb as a stopper. I'm going to hold the bead on my finger, pin pointing up to the ceiling, just back to that marker on our pliers. I'm going to go a little bit past it because remember I've left more wire to keep it longer. And then the movements that I'm doing, I don't want the bead to be, because it's a crystal, I don't want the crystal to be moving around. Marie, bank manager, has said no. Yeah, don't send them our details, will you, any of you? I know some of you have placed so many orders, but we would be sorry, but we know that you love it too much, so we're giving you some great deals. So I don't want my crystal to be moving around the pin itself, so I'm going to hold that in position, and that's going to limit the amount of damage to the bead itself. So I'm going to constantly hold the bead really nice and tight so that it's not moving around. And can you see that? Just little twisty movements will give you that perfect circle. So I'm not trying to free form a circle. I am quite simply just moulding it around the roundness of my plier. And that's going to give me, because that's the largest one, that's going to give me the drop on my necklace. And then what you can do is just have a little look, and you can play around with where you want them to go. So a little bit of free-forming design as we work. Now, because the beads are graduated, I'm actually going to keep my larger crystals down at the bottom. Let's go for 3. I'll have one in the middle and one on either side. Let me just move you so you're more in the middle. There you go. And then I'm going to graduate to the slightly smaller bead. And again, let's add these in down towards the base. Now I want it to be quite full. So once I've added these on, this will just give you the rough graduation in the pendant as we're doing. And I'm trying not to put the same size beads next to each other. I'm going to graduate them as we go up the necklace. So of course, because these ones are smaller, I'm going to want to have a lot more of them up at the top. And at the moment, I'm only doing left and right. When we start adding them on, we'll add some beads through the centre as well. And we'll do that with, do we need a few smaller ones down here maybe as well? Yeah, let's integrate those in because that's going to give us a nice bit of fluidity in the design and it'll all be matching. So can you see, I'm just very roughly sorting out where I want the beads to be and then we're going to loop them. So we've added our bottom one. Let's do the big ones first of all. So again, protecting that bead while you're bending the wire, cutting and leaving just over 1 centimetre because I would like longer pins on these, holding that crystal so that you're not damaging it. I've got it nice and tight. It's not moving around and creating that loop that we can then add onto our chain. Now, so that you get a little bit more movement, when you're adding your beads, Camille says, oh, look at those tiny titchy ones. Aren't they just adorable? I think they're really beautiful. And something like this you can make so easily. So the crystals that I'm using, it's only £4.50 for that strand. So you could make an entire set of jewellery. Of course, if you don't have the chains and the pins, you know, it's going to be a little bit extra. But your materials, your beads are only costing you £4.50, which I think is phenomenal value for money, especially when you are getting them with as beautiful cuts and facets as these, as I rotate that round. So remember, I'm using mine as arrow heads, but you could turn them around and have them as a little tree shapes as well. Michelle says, getting inspiration. Oh, good. That's what I'm here for. And that's the main thing. Do let us know if you've just joined the video, if you're watching us for the first time, what your sort of preferred beading technique is. So we're always here every day at 10 o'clock. I know quite a few of you share the video so that your beady friends and family can obviously catch up with us as well. We do have some amazing bundles on the website, as a lot of your bank managers know. Marie just says, going to get rid of the bank manager. If he says no, just get rid. Oh, that's funny. You do make me laugh. So I'm just going to keep on looping these around. Yeah, so give the video a little share and you'll see that quite a few newbies will find us, which is really lovely. Oh, Dorothy says, got you in the garden now as I'm hanging out the washing. Bit of multitasking, eh? You can still hear me while you're getting the housework done. Good stuff. I wouldn't want to get in the way of your chores. And then when you're finished, if you could just come to mine and hang mine out as well, that'd be amazing. Oh dear. Hi Sarah, I made a similar pair of earrings a few years ago with pearls. Lovely. Yeah, I absolutely love this style. I do like, now that my hair's a little bit longer, I know Kitty really likes to wear a drop earring as well, dangly earrings. I absolutely love doing these sort of little graduated designs. I think it just gives you such movement, and a lot of people struggle to kind of get the measurements right so that you can have them sitting so beautifully in line. But as I've shown, it's really, really simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. And when you've got beautiful materials and, you know, your findings are all matching, which I think Totally Beads are so great at doing, is making sure that, you know, if you've got one colour chain, you're going to want the jump rings and the earrings and the clasps and everything to match as well. Carol says, first time watching, prefer bead weaving, but I am tempted by this. Oh, lovely. So if you're doing bead weaving and you're just used to using your needle and thread, you know, something like this, it's a great project to get you used to working with tools and getting you perfecting those loops. And with the great thing with this design is that actually our loops are going to be quite hidden as well. So actually it means that they're not going to be too visible. So it's a great project to learn with, because it doesn't matter if there's a few little whoopsie moments in there, they're all going to be hidden. Mina says, I have used crystal teardrop with one bead for the earring and they have been popular. Lovely. Sue says, my hair is short, but I always wear drop earrings. Yeah, show them off. Absolutely. I think that's the thing as well. When you've got short hair, obviously your earrings are going to hang out the bottom, aren't they? So they're going to be showcased beautifully. So yeah, getting used to working with your pliers, this is an ideal project for it. If you haven't ventured into loops so much and you prefer your bead weaving. But I just love this design. Once I show you the finished necklace, it's the fluidity that it gives you as well. And of course, like I've shown you on some of the other necklaces, you can also add extra pins and beads up into your necklace as well. I'll show you that when we're finished. Hayley, good morning. I'm new to this, made rainbow men as first go and really enjoyed. Looking for something easy to start with, so I'm not sure. Hayley, this would be a good one. It's a simple make. You're just going to turn your loops. What else have we had that's nice and simple recently that would be great for, to be honest, all of our projects, I would say would be fine as first makes. Nothing is too difficult. It's just that some of them are a little bit more time consuming. So just like I was saying with something like this, it's a good introduction to turning your loops. Kitty also had a loop project the other day when she was making the necklace with the semi-precious beads. So she was actually coiling the pins round. That's a really good one to do as well. Have a little look at our Facebook tutorial section, and you will be able to scroll through. Rather than worrying about the technique, just pick something that you really like. Because I find that if you really like the beads or the colours that you're working with, or you can picture yourself wearing it, like I'm making this and I can't wait to put it on because it's going to match perfectly for my outfit today. So it gives you that kind of encouragement and inspiration to keep on going. It's a great confidence builder as well, because then of course you've got something that you are going to love to wear at the end of it. So don't worry about the techniques, just pick something that you really like. Jenny says, I've learnt more with you than I have in the last 4 years. Lockdown has been good for me, thank you. Jenny, it's exactly why Kitty and I wanted to do it. I've been teaching workshops probably for about 10 years. I know Kitty's been teaching and running her workshops. She does her bead clubs. And it's really hard because a lot of people can't get to us, let alone lockdown. Just you can't get out to workshops, full stop. So what we decided to do was obviously having everyone at home, and we wanted to use the time positively rather than dwelling on the fact that, you know, we can't really go out anywhere. We turned lockdown on its head for us as well as you guys, hopefully, so that we just had a little bit of interaction outside of the home every day. I know some of you don't have family to FaceTime with, or, you know, you're still shielding and isolating. So we wanted to just reach out to everybody and just share a little bit of our knowledge. And being creative is so good for the soul. Without getting too deep, I won't wallow in it too much, but just having something to focus your mind and your hands on is really good for the soul. So I am hoping we did turn lockdown round for a few of you, which is lovely. Yeah, if you think about it, we've got nearly 13 weeks worth of tutorials every day. So to be honest, I've probably taught more than I have in the last 4 years myself as well as you learning. So hopefully lockdown has meant that you've had some time to master some new skills. Now just remember, because these little crystals are going to be quite delicate, I'm shielding them from the pin. Remember, I'd said that you need to be nice and gentle with them. So I am holding that crystal so that, because I'm not using any stopper beads, I just want to use the arrowheads just as they are as the feature. So I'm just shielding the top of those crystals so that I don't damage them at all. Okay, so when we're going to add this onto our chain, you can either add them straight onto the chain, which I think I'm going to do apart from the end one. You can either add them straight onto the chain or you can add jump rings. Now, do you remember I said to you about curb chain sort of getting little kinks? Can you see there that it's not quite sat flush? So I'm going to just run that through my fingers. Make sure that that will sit nice and flushly, like so. And then I'm going to start adding on my beads. Now, for the base, I want it to be a little bit thicker down at the bottom because I'm going to have a lot of those bigger beads. So I am going to use a jump ring on that very last link. I'm just going to let gravity take that one to where I need it to be. So I'm going to use a pair of my pliers. Remember, those jump rings have that little link in the middle, so I'm just going to open these up. Sue says these videos have been fab. Everything else in the house is taking second place. I have to be honest, Sue, me too. When you're doing these every day, and it's funny because I know it's only an hour or so in the morning, but it really does take over your day sometimes, doesn't it? Or take over your morning. So my normal routine of kind of getting some of the housework done and sorting out the rest of the day does go out the window for me too. So what I'm going to do down at the bottom, because I want it to be nice and thick, I'm going to add on 3 of these, and I am designing this as we go. So I might chop and change a few of my ideas as we work, but that's how we go. So that is going to give me my base arrowhead down at the bottom. I'm not sure I'm too happy with it. I'm actually just going to add on the 1. Otherwise, you see that they were coming out really far. So let's add this one on first of all, which having it on the jump ring is going to mean that it's going to hang that little bit lower than any of my other beads. Then I'm going to add on, so that I don't have too many of the same bead all in one place, I'm going to open up this jump ring, the loop that we created on our necklace, and I'm going to let this chain hang. Because I don't want to battle with my fingers holding everything. I'm just going to let gravity drop that pin into the link of the chain and then close that down. So again, holding the top of the crystal just to protect it in. I'm going to swap to my round nose pliers because I want to make sure that my loop is going to be shut, holding that crystal just to limit the amount of movement. And can you see now that's better? It's not going to go out as wide. It's just going to start giving me that lovely fluid graduation and hang on the necklace. Margaret says, yes, Jenny, so have I. I cannot get to workshops or craft fairs. I'm very grateful. Have saved everyone. Thank you, Kitty and Sarah. Oh, you are more than welcome. We never really thought it would take off as much as it did. What we wanted to do was just share a few designs with you, you know, just to give you some inspiration to get through the day. And then we realised as more and more of you were joining us, you were just all getting so much from it, as were Kitty and I. We love teaching, obviously, or else we wouldn't be doing the work that we do. And we love sharing our designs. So it's been a real privilege to be able to have so many of you watching us, which has been lovely. Okay, can you see that I'm graduating the sizes. I'm also off centering, so I'll attach one to the left and then one to the right. Some of these little gaps will go in and fill afterwards. Flushly, did I say flushly? Camille, you know I just make words up. Oh dear. It's a Sarah-ism. There are a lot of them, but you know what I mean. I think you all know me well enough now to know that I just chat absolute gibberish. I can't believe yesterday, hilarious, I had mind fog yesterday. Couldn't even remember that Czech glass beads are glass. I'm hoping you just all know my silly little self well enough to just ignore me and let me get on with it. I think you do. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on adding these on and opening them up. So I'm using my flat nose pliers to open up the links. Using gravity just to link those in. It means you don't have to battle the space with your fingers. It makes it so much easier. And then switching to my round nose pliers just to bring those in. So as I'm twisting it down, I'm also pushing in a little bit so that my jump rings are completely closed. Now this is going to take a lot of crystals. You can see that although it's filling up nicely, you kind of want it to be really full. So we'll have a little look at how many we get on. But you can see the concept. I don't even know actually how long we've been on here. Quite a while, I think. John is running Beth back to her mum's house today. Both the dogs are nice and quiet. I actually find they're so chilled and quiet when it's just me in the house with them. When there's other people around, they're just a bit mad. Alistair fast asleep in his bed behind me. So we've actually had a really nice uninterrupted... Was anyone else watching the week that John burnt the toast? Oh my goodness. I had the fire alarm going off. The dogs were barking at it. You see how nice and calm it is when it's just me. Oh, 50 minutes. Gosh, haven't I been rabbiting on? I don't think you want to see me finish the whole thing, do you? It's going to take too long. But what I will do is add on, and I'll just graduate up to the top here. I should have some... There we go. So can you see I've added left and right, quite a few of them. Doris says, yes, I was. Oh, dear. This is what you get, isn't it, for just joining us at home? You get the joys of our households. So I'm just going to see where there are a few gaps, and I'm just going to pop these on where I can see some gaps and close that off like so. Filling them in. So you can see I've got quite a few gaps on this side here. So let's add in some of our smaller ones as well, because actually let's do another big one. And then we'll use the smaller ones as little fillers. So it's just having a look and keep on hanging it, because of course, when you're going to be wearing it, it's going to hang down. So that will then show you where any of your gaps are, where you need to add a few more fillers. And I was going to use 2 colours for these because I know that this is going to take up a lot of beads. Here's me saying to you, let gravity do it so that you don't have to battle with your hands, and then I'm not even taking my own advice. Do as I say, not as I do, eh? Isn't that the saying? Okay, so you can see this is filling up nicely. Now, it's nice just as it is. You could keep it quite plain. I'm going to fill it up quite a lot. Let's go to some of the smaller ones up at the top, and then I'll leave you with that, because then we've made our necklace and our earrings. So if anybody missed the beginning of the video, this will be saved on the Totally Beads Facebook page afterwards. So you can always go back. We made some really lovely graduated arrowhead earrings, and just with 6 of our beads, so really nice and simple. I'm using 1 of each of the sizes that we have on these lovely strands. So you've got the 3 different sizes. So the smallest one is an 8x4mm, and they are super diddy. But like we said, these would actually make really cute Christmas trees as well. So if you're doing things like wine glass charms, or even making decorations for your tree, or just for around the house, I think they would be absolutely beautiful. And of course, what I've done is turned them upside down and made them into arrowheads. So the smallest one, that's this one, is your 8x4mm. You get 20 beads on your strands of those. And then the next size up is your 12x6mm, of which you get 16 beads on just 1 strand. And then the 16x8, you get 11 beads. So even of the larger ones, even if you were only going to make pairs of earrings out of these, it's amazing value for money, £4.50 for 1 of these strands, which is amazing. Okay, that's not too bad, is it? I think I've used all of my beads that I have pre-looped. I've got 2 more to do, and I'll just show you how it will sit when I put it on. Open that up. Let's go for one right up at the top, like so. And this would look so beautiful for summer wear if you were to do it in some of the turquoises with silver or gold. You've got your crystal AB. That is going to catch the sun just beautifully when we have the sun, of course. So you can see I've graduated down in size or up in size rather. Smallest up at the top, into the medium, and I've just switched around some of those. I'm just going to pop one more big one in here because I've already got it looped, so we might as well. And by chopping and changing some of those beads, where am I missing a big bead? Let's go in here. By chopping and changing the sizes and making that a really nice fluid transition all the way down that pendant chain, you're just going to get a really lovely look when you pop it on. So there we go. They are the crystal tree beads. I have turned them on their head today and made little arrowheads out of them. I just want to remind you of the bundle, because if you are thinking that these are shaped beads, I mean, they're really nice and unique. I hadn't seen them before Kitty did them with some of her Christmas makes. So you actually get, you can buy them on their own, so they're £4, and you get the 3 sizes of beads. Or if you buy the bundle, it's normally £48. Look at these colours you're going to be getting. It's normally £48, and that is on offer for £29.99. Now, the earrings that I made, remember, I'm only using 6 beads. You have 3 sizes in these. You've got 20 beads of your 8x4 mil. So that's the smallest one. You've got 16 beads of your 12 by 6, and then you've got 11 of your 16 by 8. So it is amazing value for money, and I've made a full set of jewellery out of mine today. If I turn this up, I will... Oh, lovely. I can see you're all replying to each other's comments. Lovely. So if I've missed any, then I will go back and have a little look as well. But I think Kitty's been sending you links to things. And now, which one did I say? Yeah. Let's pop this one in. So you've got really nice graduated earrings. I always struggle getting earrings in. I love the clip-on earrings that we did. Gosh, that feels like a long, long time ago. I mean, it was probably one of the first ones that we did, actually. So it's probably about 12 weeks ago. But we do have some clip-on earring tutorials as well. So you can see it's just going to give you that lovely little movement. And they are super quick. These were only a couple of minutes makes, weren't they? The earrings themselves, which is lovely. And of course you can have them in any colour, and it's still going to look great when you've got your hair up as well. And then you've got that lovely graduation in size, and then of course my necklace as well. Now I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to add a few more in as well. But you can see you have that lovely pendant. It hangs really beautifully. You've got all of your crystals in there, which are going to give you a nice bit of bling and a bit of movement. And we've got a whole set of jewellery. Well, you could add a bracelet in, maybe just a chain bracelet. Your set of jewellery from a £4 set of beads. And I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 of my beads left. Oh, and 25 because one flew. I still have 25 of my beads left, so I'm going to bling this up a little bit more so that I've got a really nice cluster. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been lovely chatting to you all again. Hopefully I haven't kept you all too long. Dorothy says it's really lovely. Thank you. Oops, turns out I already have a kit in my stash. Anne's been raiding to see if you've got everything that you can be making. Amazing. So that's the rest of your day sorted. We do also have new pearl bundles available on the website. So if you got the 6 and the 8 mils a few weeks ago, we have added on the 4mm, I say we, royal we, Kitty and Simon have added on the 4mm pearl bundle and also the 3mm pearl bundle. Now, I didn't use any pearls in mine today, but as you can see, just remember I said if you turn them up and have them as the trees, you can actually use the pearls as beautiful little stoppers. So it's going to give you, we just move these jump rings around. It's going to give you the most beautiful little tree effect, which is really lovely. You've got some gorgeous earrings that you can make. So the 3 and the 4mm pearls are going to work beautifully with this. Someone at the very beginning said they really liked the red. Look at that. So what you can also do, now that you are going to perfect your loops, you can even use the beads and add them into the main part of your necklace as well. So there are lots of different colours, lots of different takes on them. You could even just use the big beads, look. Some really lovely designs. I really hope you enjoyed it, have inspired you and perhaps helped with some of your loop turning as well. I will see, oh, mermaid pink, that's my favourite one. That's this one. Look at that. Bit of mermaid pink. It's got the blues, the teals, gold, pink, purple. They have the most amazing finish to them. Okay, so I'm going to be back with you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow is Saturday. So we will see you then 10 o'clock on the page. Jo says, thank you. Need to do some work now, but I'm suddenly craving an earring making session. Yay! I'm sorry to distract you from work. I'm lucky that this is my work. I'm very lucky. Alicia says, beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. You too. What you can also do is if you go onto the Facebook page, we have the Totally Handmade group. You can obviously all add in your makes if you're going to be making this afternoon. If you've been doing any of our other tutorials, we would absolutely love to see them. And thank you so much for joining us all. Gemma says, what size chain have you used? I will measure it for you, Gemma. In fact, let's just do it now. Hold on one sec. I actually just did it by holding it up to myself earlier. So that's 15... 30, it's actually 40 centimetres on one side, so 80 in all. And that sits really nicely. If you're not sure on sizes, just hold up your chain. So this is all I did at the beginning. I worked out where I wanted my chain to be. Oh, I didn't see this chain actually. Look at the links in there, beautiful. So just hold your chain up, hold it at the back of your head, and work out where you would like it to be, because remember we just made that loop at the very beginning, didn't we? And then once you've worked out the exact position, just take out that link and add your jump ring in, ready for your pendant, because you don't even need your clasp because it's an over the head one. Lovely. So yes, pop onto the Facebook page. You'll be able to find the Totally Handmade group where we can all share pictures of our makes from any of the tutorials. And also if you go into the event section, you will also then see the techniques that we're going to be doing, I think for about the next week and a half. Kitty's added in, which will be really lovely. So thank you so much. Hope we blinged up your day a little bit. I do really like these earrings actually. I think I might have to put my hair up so I can see them a bit more. Really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow morning 10 o'clock, same place, same time. Stay safe everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.